So, welcome once again to another module of Advanced R. Here we are going to discuss about the package called Shiny with the help of R. Here the thing of Shiny is that this is a web interaction framework where we can use it interactively with the help of JavaScript libraries. In the previous module we had discussed with something regarding the knitr package. In knitr package we come to know how we can show the output with the in order to make it a PDF or in order to make it an HTML document or something like that. Unlike that, here we want to make the output more interactive, and the Shiny library will help us to do that. So, let us see how we can do that with the help of this Shiny library. So, in this module I am going to discuss about a brief introduction of Shiny, some features of Shiny and different examples considering this. So, welcome to Shiny here. Basically, this is a web application framework for R. Shiny is designed for fully interactive visualization using JavaScript libraries. So, let us have some applications of Shiny by which it's interactive and which have a great appeal to us. Look at this plot. Here it's offensive production in baseball history, and here if I change the range, if I change the smoothing fractions here, then the graph will get changed. If I change the variables, then the graph will get changed. So, you can always do interactions and you can plot the graphs with the help of a Shiny package. Look at this one. Here also we are having 4 different plots by changing the values of the input what we are giving, and hence there are options like choose a variable to display and range of interest and many things like that, and using this we can have different kinds of a plot. So, you can always change these things, change this slider kind of a functions, and you can always come up with different plots which are shown here. Have a look at this. Here the select options are there in the left side, and using these options we are having this density plot. Here basically the within the select options we are having something which allows us to include the data. Here it's Irish data set, then the variables we are using. We know that there are 4 variables, sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width, but here we are only using too many variables like sepal length and sepal width. So, the variable is sepal length and the groups are sepal width, and we are plotting density function here. We can do any kinds of things, we can change any of the options, we can have any of the options by changing this, and then we can have these plots with different versions. Here since we have used Irish data with sepal length as variable and sepal width as groups, and we are wanting to have density plot, so plots like this is coming. So, the question that arises is, what is Shiny? What is the thing that is giving us such nice plots, such an interactive plots like that? So, Shiny is an R package which makes it easy to build interactive web applications from R. If you haven't installed the Shiny package, open an R session, connect to the internet and run. So, you need to install the package at first. By now you know how to install a package, it is by install.packages, or there are some other ways around this, but let us try this install.packages, then within inverted commas you need to write Shiny. So, here it is highly recommended to use RStudio for this purpose. Now, Shiny package has many built-in examples, and each example shows how Shiny works. Each example is self-contained Shiny app. The Hello Shiny example plots a histogram of R's faithful dataset. Now, use Hello Shiny to explore the structure of a Shiny app. In the next slide, I will show how to run Hello Shiny app. So here the example is run Hello Shiny, then we are including library Shiny and run example 01 hello. So we are considering the first example, and now look at the output. The plot is controlled by two scripts. One is UI.R and the other is server.R. So here is the plot. So let's demonstrate what these two scripts actually are. Shiny apps have two components, a user interface script UI.R and the server script server.R. The UI.R controls the layout and appearance of Shiny app. The name of the source script is UI.R. So let's have a look on the UI.R script. Here is the script. Here we are, as you can see, we are including library Shiny. Then we are defining UI for application that draws a histogram, as we have done it here in the previous examples as well. Here we are giving so many things like the application title and the sidebar with a slider input for the number of beans, since we are considering a histogram. So it needs to contain beans, and we need to show a plot of the generated distribution. So this is how the whole things go. Now here comes the idea of server.R of Shiny. The server.R script contains the instructions on how your computer needs to build your app. Let's have a look on the server.R script. This script contains server.R, as you can see. Here also, like in the case of the previous one, we are including Shiny library. Then we are defining server logic. We are to draw a histogram, and here is the expression that generates a histogram, and the expression is wrapped in a call to render plot to indicate that whole thing. It is that thing is given here, like it is reactive and therefore should be automatically re-executed when inputs change, and its output type is a plot. So these two things are needed to be given here. So for these things we are using these many commands. Now server.R script is very simple to understand. When you are running Hello Shiny app, the script does some calculations at first. Then the script plots a histogram with a number of beans. So here take another example. We are taking the second example, run example 02 text. How does the output look like? It looks like this, where again, like in the case of the plot, we can choose a data set, its rock, and then we can choose the number of observations to view, it's 10, and likewise we are having these many outputs. So if you want to change that, you can always do, and you can always have different kinds of output. So here are two components of Shiny. The previous example demonstrates output of raw text from R using the render print function in server.R and verbatim text output function in UI.R. In this case, a summary of the data rock is shown using R's built-in summary function. So play with Hello Shiny app, and if you become unable to retrieve the R session, just hit escape button to get it back. So it's simpler now. Life becomes simpler with using this app. In Shiny app, there are two R scripts in each directory. You can make a new directory by editing the scripts UI.R and server.R, and thus you can create a new Shiny app. You can run a Shiny app by writing the name of its directory inside the function run app. The first argument of run app is the file path from your working directory to the apps directory. In Hello Shiny app, files are saved in a special system directory called 01 hello. This directory works with run example 01 hello call that we have discussed here. So the question is how to build user interface. Now the basic structure of a Shiny app is clear to you. So Now you need to know the detail about the two scripts of this app. So, I am now showing you how to build a user interface in your app. Create a new directory named my own app in your directory, then copy and paste the UI.r and server.r scripts into that folder. We have just discussed about these two scripts, so by now we know what they are, and then use this run app, then within first bracket the link, the address of the directory. Next, change the title from Hello Shiny to Hello World. Set the minimum value of the slide bar to 5. Change the histogram color from dark gray to sky blue. Now again launch your app. Your app should match with the image shown in the slide. So here it is. You can change the number of beans that should be included. You change the color of the plot. So you can change everything that is associated with the visualization of histogram of X. So just think of how interactive it is actually. So you can edit the two scripts UI.r and server.r. You have already noticed that UI.r scripts use the function FluidPage to create a display. This plot automatically adjusts to the dimensions of your browser window. So FluidPage function controls the appearance of the layout. So if you open the UI.r script in RStudio, you will see that it has a title panel and then a sidebar layout. This further includes a sidebar panel and a main panel. Look at the UI.r script again. Here it is. Here we are defining UI for application that draws a histogram, and application title, the sidebar with the slider input for the number of beans and so on, and next the plot that should be generated. FluidPage function contains two most popular elements, which are title panel and sidebar layout that we have just seen here. If you are interested to know more about the layout of Shiny app, you may go through the following link, which is given here. It's by RStudio. Now let's think of how to create headers. First, select a header function, then write inside the header function whatever you want to see in the header. Run the command that have been given here, and you will notice that it produces an HTML code. So pass this thing as an argument into title panel, sidebar panel or main panel. You can even place multiple elements in the same panel if you separate them with a comma. So how the plots will look like? It will now look like this. Again, just we are changing the number of bins, and we are having this hello world, and the plots using all these kinds of things that have been discussed here. We are having this histogram plot. Now let's have some more features of the Shiny app. You can also format the text of UI.r script. You can enhance the appearance of your app. To insert an image, use img function. Name your image as the src argument that have been given here. Create a folder named www inside your directory, and then copy and paste the edited UI.r and server.r scripts into the folder. So this is how I have edited mine, and this is what is given here. So now the output looks like this. Here you have all the options to select all the things, and you are having density plot as well as the histogram plot. It looks really nice to have these kinds of functions. It's visually they are very impressive. Now Shiny comes with a number of pre-built widgets, each created with a transparently named R function. So here are some Shiny widgets and their roles. The action button used for, and its role is action button, then its checkbox group input, and it's a group of check boxes. Now checkbox input is a single checkbox. Then date input, it's a calendar to aid date selection. Then date range input is basically a pair of calendars for selecting a date range. Then file input is a file upload control wizard, and you have things like that. Now here comes the ideas of if you want to share your Shiny app. You can build Shiny app as well as you can share it with others. You can put it for your own, or you can share this with your friends and with anybody in the world. There are two ways to share your Shiny app. You can share your Shiny app as two files, server.r and ui.r. You can share your Shiny app as a web page. To launch Shiny app, you must have a copy of R Shiny and a copy of your apps file. So thanks to run URL, run GitHub and run Gist for making it easy to share and retrieve Shiny files from web links. You can turn your app into a live web app. So lots and lots of interactions and sharing ideas are there. You can also use the open source Shiny server to build a Linux server. So Shiny is a highly sophisticated and reactive app. Build your own Shiny app and share it with others. So as you can see, we have come across several basic aspects of Shiny package in R. Here we have come across lots and lots of examples which actually tells us how this package works interactively with the help of R. You can use this package as well for your own work, and you can visualize the things that you are doing. So we are stopping here, and let's see what is there in our next module.